Hey, man. What you doing?
Nothing. Just, writing a letter to my sister.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 funniest SNL TV show parodies.
Okay, this is no time to panic. You're in good hands. I've been doing this all my life.
For this list, we're looking at the most hilarious sketches that make fun of any type of TV series. Did we forget one of your favorite parodies? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20, Bern Your Enthusiasm, parodying Curb Your Enthusiasm. Bernie Sanders and Larry David might just be the same person. Or at least that's what the internet wants to think.
Sweetie, I can't believe how many people are here.
It's a revolution, Jane. Millions of people. If we have a good turnout, we can win Iowa.
Saturday Night Live buys into this theory by casting David as the senator in a parody of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He has a few signature Larry moments, refusing to shake a supporter's hand and not wanting to be bothered by other people's problems.
Can you just pop it back in?
Are you nuts?
No, it's easy. Just pop it back in.
Go to a hospital. I don't pop. I'm not a popper.
The combination of both personalities makes for an endless series of jokes about being a stubborn old man.
But it's by like 0.2%. Come on.
0.2%? What? How many people is that?
Seeing Sanders' life turned into an HBO show never fails to be funny, giving the writers enough material to create a believable episode of television. Number 19, The People's Court, parodying The People's Court. Fans of daytime television will love this parody of the long-running court show. Instead of taking a look at a normal case, the SNL version covers a ridiculous case between a hairdresser and the devil.
I have here a copy of the contract. I see that it is written in blood.
The joke revolves around a comical deal that the former made with Mephistopheles. Several details, such as a contract written in blood and other surprises, make this even funnier, providing an accurate procedure that mirrors the real program. They even managed to capture the wild arguments that ensue between defendants and plaintiffs.
What about throwing all that garbage in our yard? What was that?
I did not put garbage in your yard.
Well, who hit my car in the parking lot? It didn't dent by itself.
Now you listen to me. I'm Mephistopheles, Prince of Darkness. When I start harassing you, you'll know it.
Jon Lovitz's pitch-perfect delivery and costume only make this even better.
Obey me! Obey me!
Remember.
Number 18, The Sopranos Diaries, parodying The Sopranos and The Carrie Diaries. Inspired by The Carrie Diaries taking a look at a younger Carrie Bradshaw, SNL applies the same idea to The Sopranos.
Hey, Tone. Silvio.
Whoa, what are you wearing on your face?
The shutter shades. They're totally rad.
They put the characters in high school and have them deal with the fads and fashions of the 80s. Even though they're teenagers, the cast hasn't lost any of their aggression or need to swear.
I want some money for the soda machine.
What do I look like, a bank?
The sketch pokes fun at the timeline and the actual logic of the entire concept with fake critic reviews. Bobby Moynihan deserves specific praise for channeling James Gandolfini's iconic starring performance as Tony Soprano.
You want to go to the dance with me?
I would. I'd like that very much.
That's tubular. I'm gonna moonwalk out of here.
Fans also get to see the head mobster meet his future wife Carmela in one of many enjoyable nods to the acclaimed HBO series. Number 17, Keenan and Kelly, parodying Keenan and Kell. Kids of the 90s will appreciate this trip down memory lane. The Nickelodeon classic Keenan and Kell receives a reboot courtesy of an ecstatic Keke Palmer.
Whip this place into shape, huh, King? Because of me, Rigby now sells fresh sushi.
Yeah, maybe too fresh?
Kelly, I think that salmon you caught might be a piranha.
The host wants to re-envision the plot with herself as a star, bringing in a reluctant Kenan Thompson to go along with her every request. Things take a turn as Palmer's fandom gets in the way of producing a decent episode. Her bizarre catchphrases and plot ideas completely change the program's tone in entertaining ways.
My uncle told her to blame me for my daddy leaving. Me! How you gonna blame a little girl for that man being a coward? Uh-oh! Here come the bus!
With a cameo from Kel Mitchell himself, this parody is both accurate to the original show and willing to make fun of its original glory.
The show is not good, but Jordan Peele called us.
He wants us to do a sequel to Nope.
Number 16, McGruber, parodying MacGyver. Will Forte's dedicated performance makes this TV parody especially funny. Taking an overdramatic look at MacGyver, the performer tries to defuse a bomb without getting too distracted.
15 seconds!
What are we gonna do, McGruber? Okay, first, quick introduction. Everyone, this is Taylor.
Hi.
I met her at a hookah bar in Marina Del Rey.
Every single episode revolves around the supposed expert falling prey to some other problem. Playing off of his trusty companions, the star is nowhere near as effective as his 80s counterpart.
Okay, here, McGruber.
Okay, Vicky, tell the same guy that when he dies, I will scatter his ashes in my toilet, and then I will scatter something else over that.
Oh, good. I hope you do.
Good, then I will.
Good.
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 Forte's hilarious presence makes it all work with his complete inability to finish the job.
After the last mission, I heard your concerns, and now I'm following all the protocols.
Well, McGruber, there's a big hole in your mask.
Yeah, so I don't suffocate from all the carbon dioxide, duh.
Even though you know it's coming, the ending explosion serves as the perfect punchline to every sketch. It was such a foolproof idea that it also inspired an uproarious movie. Number 15, Chopped, parodying Chopped. Anybody who watches the Food Network knows that Chopped is one of their mainstay shows.
You did some great cooking out there. I think either one of us could win.
I think you could win, or I could win.
That's what I just said.
It's also the breeding ground for tons of jokes about the format, the individual contestants, and the increasingly obscure dishes. Contestants Leslie Jones and Melissa Villaseñor compete in a heightened version of the program with some questionable ingredients.
Georgina had problems too. Her appetizer was supposed to be an artichoke slider.
Yeah, but it was actually just a kitten on a hamburger bun.
All the while, judges like Emma Thompson offer up a dramatic takedown of the laughable food. The sketch also has the two competitors turn violent, with bullets flying across the kitchen. By the time it comes to a close, there's even a live cat to bring the absurd concept home.
Let me know when the cameras are off.
Number 14, The Muppet Show, parodying The Muppet Show. For this parody of the beloved variety series, Saturday Night Live decides to spotlight two characters that usually interrupt the show.
You all having a good time? We were, but then you came out!
Statler and Waldorf are the two older puppets that criticize everything from the balcony, but they usually don't receive any pushback. This sketch sees two security guards confront them several times before things get physical.
Hey! Shut up! Finally, something entertaining is happening!
Keegan-Michael Key beats one of them to a pulp, giving the foam rubber critic two black eyes in the process. Both Key and Keenan Thompson can barely hold in their laughter as the ornery duo reel from the violence. It's a shockingly hilarious turn that takes the classic program to its extreme.
Hey, Kramer! Kramer! What? Hey, Kramer! You stupid!
Number 13, Dateline, parodying Dateline NBC. While the subjects in this recurring parody sketch are deadly serious, the presentation is laugh-out-loud funny.
I was walking along the lake one morning, and I saw something floating on the surface.
Ah. Was it Wilson the volleyball?
No, it was an arm.
Ah.
Bill Hader plays a version of narrator Keith Morrison that seems a little too entertained by horrible deaths. His character often enjoys hearing victims' families and friends recount their worst moments, even making odd sounds to show his excitement.
So it was day 2 and we were surrounded by sharks.
Ooh. What was that like?
It was terrible.
Ah.
Hader's vocal inflections and awkward interview skills are just two highlights in this winning concept. He even finds time to commiserate with the perpetrators of said crimes, finding ways to push his hilarious reactions to the limit.
What can I say? I like to kill.
Kill like a comedian at the Apollo?
No, like murder.
Ah.
It's one of many examples of Hader's incredible comedic instincts and impression skills. Number 12, Hobbit Office, parodying The Office. If you love the British version of The Office and J.R.R. Tolkien, you're sure to love this sketch.
Yeah, so the brave hobbit Bilbo Baggins now works at a paper company, selling paper reams over the phone. And I drive a Jetta.
The classic comedy series receives a pitch-perfect mashup with the Hobbit franchise. With Office star Martin Freeman reprising his role as Bilbo, the premise accurately depicts the grind of office culture.
You seen your ring lately?
No, where is it? Where is it? Oh, hilarious. Very funny.
Bobby Moynihan's David Brent feels especially inspired when combined with mighty wizard Gandalf. Other characters like Gollum populate the workplace, becoming targets for pranks and all sorts of nods to the acclaimed sitcom. There's also a holiday party that takes a turn after Moynihan's wizard starts to dance. From hilarious testimonials to great set design and character moments, this sketch has more than enough to satisfy fans of both franchises.
Thou shalt not pass!
Girls. Number 11, more Cowbell, parodying Behind the Music. As iconic as this sketch is, some people forget that it's a parody of the documentary series Behind the Music.
By the way, my name is Bruce Dickinson. Yes, the Bruce Dickinson. And I gotta tell you, fellas, you have got what appears to be a dynamite sound.
This particular program follows Blue Oyster Cult during their recording of Don't Fear the Reaper. Will Ferrell really plays the cowbell after some encouragement from producer Christopher Walken.
Are you sure that was sounding okay?
I'll be honest, fellas, it was sounding great, but I could have used a little more cowbell.
Both performers bring total dedication and energy to this sketch, with Ferrell's legendary moves almost derailing the sketch for being so outrageous. By the time Walken comes back with an iconic line, half of the cast is already holding back laughter.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
It also stands as an incredibly funny look at the show that captures bands at their breaking point. Number 10, Jon Snow Resurrection, parodying Game of Thrones.
Well, Jon Snow is dead. Yes, he's dead for good.
There is no escaping the wild popularity that is HBO's television adaptation of George R.R. Martin's book series A Song of Ice and Fire. Being one of the top intellectual properties in pop culture today, this of course opens the door to criticism, and in this case, zany ridicule.
First, I must wash his body. That's part of the magic for sure. Not yet.
Poking fun at Jon Snow's resurrection, SNL's version of the scene begins to play out almost identically to how it does in the show. Only this time, two others in attendance repeatedly interrupt the dramatic revival. Jon's resurrection is meant to be an epic moment, so it's incredibly hilarious for every dramatic high to be continually undercut by the two women, one of whom is played by host Brie Larson, just wanting to speed things up and get them over with.
Because we only get 10 hours of this a year, people, and we spend 2 in this room.
Number 9, The Last Voyage of the Starship Enterprise, parodying Star Trek.
Captain Kirk.
Yes, Mr. Spock.
John Belushi takes command of the Enterprise as an even more eccentric and delirious Captain Kirk, if that was even possible, in this satirical crack at the original Star Trek series. Literally no element of the show is left without a gag, as phasers, beamers, evasive maneuvers, and both Spock and Kirk's quirky characteristics have a joke written around them.
And the little blue and orange numbers. That's called a California license plate, and it's registered, or was in 1968, to a corporation known as NBC.
The most outlandish and hilarious part is near the end of the skit, when Kirk and his crew come into contact with Herb Goodman, head of the network. In an extremely meta situation, Kirk faces off against his greatest enemy, low ratings. Matters escalate quickly as we watch the set of the show shut down, all with Kirk/Shatner never returning to reality.
So that's how it is, huh? Just me, huh?
Number 8, A Different View, parodying The View.
Can I just say something? As the princess of Arizona.
While there are certainly a large number of fans of this extremely energetic daytime talk show, there are an equal number of detractors who feel it's nothing more than minutes on end of ear-ringing bickering. SNL recognizes this fact, pulling no punches whatsoever and taking playful jabs at each of the leading ladies on the program.
Say that.
Can you let me finish?
Well, can you let me talk?
Well, can you let me finish?
Well, can you let me talk?
Let me
Because it's actually your job to listen to me.
Utilizing their excessive rants, feelings of authority towards each other, and exaggerated factual claims to get their points across to great comedic effect, SNL really knocked it out of the park with this sketch. You know you did a parody right when even the members of The View themselves say they enjoyed the satire of their tirades. Number 7, Farm Hunk,
parodying the Bachelor franchise.
So, Alyssa, tell me about yourself. I mean, who is Alyssa?
The Bachelor is a popular point of parody for SNL, as seen in their literal shot-for-shot mockery of the season finale from that year. Arguably the best stab taken at it was when SNL switched tuxedos for overalls in an exaggeration of the competitive lengths that the ladies will go to in order to capture the affection of a farmer heartthrob.
In Iowa, you can't teach. There's no schools in my town.
I love that.
The women, clearly having little clue what they're talking about, ask him absurdly obvious questions. Even more hilarious are the statements that should obviously be turnoffs he makes, all while the ladies continue to stare at him with googly eyes, spoofing how agreeable the women on the actual show are and how much they like that.
My town is really ugly and stinky and far away from things.
I love that.
Number 6, Undercover Boss, Starkiller Base, parodying Undercover Boss.
You get so caught up in restoring the galaxy to its rightful state that you miss what's going on behind the scenes.
The Force Awakens was crushing the box office a few years back, just like how Kylo Ren was crushing the universe with the might of his military. But have you ever wondered what it takes to run a military like the First Order? SNL did, and they tackled the thought with this offbeat combination of Undercover Boss and a galaxy far, far away.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a radar technician.
Kylo, played by his real-life actor Adam Driver, disguises himself as Matt to interact with his employees, which provides him with new insight as to how everything works on a day-to-day basis. It's such a funny use of the reality TV show that we partly wish Star Wars would adopt the idea as a limited miniseries or something to that effect.
Dude, that thing looks dangerous, man. Poorly made, like a little kid made it.
Then you don't have to look at it anymore.
Number 5, Family Feud, Celebrity Edition, parodying Family Feud.
I'm sorry I don't look my best, but my mustache fluffer is out sick today.
The long-running American game show pitting two families against each other for an assortment of luxurious prizes has had its fair share of funny moments and awkward situations. Well now, how about we take the exact same premise and put it into a show whose entire purpose is to be funny?
The world came to know my voice in Les Miserables. You may remember my song.
SNL's take on the feud is to have celebrities take on each other over a bevy of brain-bending questions. The catch is, the celebs on the show aren't actually themselves, but rather other famous actors and comedians playing satirical versions of themselves, resulting in a wickedly funny recurring SNL skit.
Family Feud isn't the only game show SNL poked fun at, but we'll get to that later.
Drake, the spotlight is yours. Is it?
Number 4, Walking Dead, Chappelle Show, parodying The Walking Dead and Chappelle Show.
In the real episode of The Walking Dead, the sadistic villain Negan lines up many of the principal cast of characters and savagely kills off a couple of them. It was a shocking moment for fans of the series, so naturally SNL saw an opportunity to take a suspenseful moment and perform a 180-degree flip, turning it into complete and utter lunacy.
You can breathe. You can blink. You can cry.
The comedic chops of funny man Dave Chappelle, who in this case portrays Negan, makes a buffoonery out of the once tense sequence, with Rick's gang being swapped out for characters that were once on Dave's own show, such as Tyrone Biggums and Clayton Bigsby. You will never see the original the same way again.
I only got 2 months until they take away my health care. Body, if you will.
Number 3, The Shooting, aka Dear Sister, parodying The OC.
Hey, man, what you doing?
As if the original scene that aired during the season 2 finale of teen drama The OC wasn't unintentionally hilarious enough, SNL cranks it up to 11, making things more outrageous than ever. Utilizing the Imogen Heap song to drive the comedy forward, the entirety of the skit is essentially just repeating the same gag over and over again, but it works wonderfully. As the story unfolds, we are holding our sides with laughter, anticipating when the song will kick in and when the ludicrous amount of shooting occurs again. To top things all off is a brilliant ending that actually pokes fun at the SNL skit itself, satirizing how out of control the situation became.
Got ourselves a bloodbath.
Number 2, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, parodying Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
The wicked wit of Eddie Murphy was on rapid fire at the height of his stand-up career, and his appearances on SNL were no exception. The most notable skit he produced was arguably the obvious spoof of the popular children's television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Do you know where drums come from? From Africa.
He portrayed his interpretation of the character with the same amount of cheer and friendliness as the original, as well as with a spicy amount of sarcastic and sly cracks at social commentary and racial issues. It functioned literally as a more mature take on Mr. Rogers, offering observations about the world around us, but with a far more blunt, mature perspective. Sometimes the truth is darn funny.
The new word for the day is pain.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Celebrity Jeopardy! Parodying Jeopardy!
And welcome back to Celebrity Jeopardy!
This recurring sketch on SNL targets the long-running brain-puzzling game show Jeopardy! And with numerous versions of the scenario over the years, it's hard to pick the absolute funniest. There have been several notable appearances of celebrities portraying other celebrities in a variety of outlandish skits. For our money, Will Ferrell playing the host Alex Trebek in a hilarious conversation with comedian Daryl Hammond's Sean Connery impersonation was one for the all-time comedy record books.
Would it be all right if I picked the next category?
Well, that depends, Sean. Are you going to take the game seriously?
Indeed I will.
This twist on the classic game show is definitely one of SNL's best, and that's not even mentioning their Black Jeopardy variant of the spoof.
They out here saying this movie doesn't deserve an Oscar. Keely.
What is Tyler Perry's Boo a Medea Halloween?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when that man puts on a moo-moo, I'm just transported.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.